going to jump over to my example. Here's my example. Here it is. In bullet form, what are things that students need to know before so that they can be successful in your lesson? So, like, do they need to know how to read a map? I'm again making this stuff up. I don't know.
No, I got it. So
do they need to know what factors are necessary to have a thriving civilization? Do they need to know
how specific do you want me to get in these bullet points? Because you have mathematical things here, so but how specific do you want me to get?
Not very specific, just content area about I don't know, economy.
Like, for example, could one bullet point say distinguish different kinds of government?
Yes.
Different systems. Like, could one bullet point say distinguish different systems of government?
Perfect.
Okay, yep. So that could be a bullet point, for example.
Yeah, interpret a map, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This next part is you want to think small because
I'm sorry, what?
You want to think small, and this is for everybody in the class, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, if you have a kid that comes into your, and forgive me for calling them kids, but they're always.
No, it's okay. I do that all the time. Don't worry about
it. If you have students coming into your class, let's say you could very well have a student that can't do any of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot stop everything you're doing to teach them everything. You can't do that. You cannot teach what they have not been able to learn in several years worth of standards.
Right. In 20 minutes. I can't do that now.
So you're going to have to look at this and say, okay, what's the non-negotiable? Like, what is it that they absolutely need to know? So, like, for me, I was like, okay, they don't need to calculate the mean, median, and mode. So we're going to have technology doing that, but I do need them to know the concept behind it. They need to know the big idea. Okay, they need to know, we can deal with error reduction later for statistics. That can go. So what you're doing is you're looking at the bare bones, what they absolutely need in order to understand, to have a really good shot at understanding today's lesson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how are you going to assess that? So here, I just wrote, I would give them a short 15-minute, 20-minute open response survey, and it's going to have the following questions. Explain the difference between the median and the median. I didn't have them calculate anything. I was just like, what's the difference?
Okay, so for my example, I think I would probably, I might give them like a Duna or something that kind of like asks them a simple question that kind of leads into what we're going to do today.
Well, definitely, but like, what is it what is blocking them from being successful in your lesson that would make them not be successful for your lesson? And how would you know that that's a block? Does that make sense?
Okay. No, I got it.
Sort of. And then here, you're going to think of a very quick way to differentiate without completely changing everything. So, in today's world, like, there's videos, there's online activities, there's, different things like that. Like I said, you can't teach them everything again. What can you teach them that they absolutely need to know in order to move forward? So you're just gonna quick.
And that could be well, I guess that could be anything, right?
It could be anything. It could be like, I would have them read, compare and contrast two brochures about, whatever, or I'd give them an assignment where they had to go home and find 3 sources about, the differences between 3 different civilizations, and do a 3-way Venn diagram. Just something small that would give them the review to give them a better chance to be successful with your lesson. But nothing that's going to penalize them,
for not having prior knowledge on something.
Exactly. But you're just getting them more prepared so they can be successful. Now, I want to go on the record with everybody in the room. I'm not saying that any of these things are sustainable, especially with 200 students in high school, but theoretically, this would be a really great way to be able to support our students. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. So okay. Thank you for that. I was just sort of unconfused on like how to go about starting this thing. That does help though.
If you want to work on it for a little while, and while I help another student, you're welcome to, and then I can circle back.
No, that's okay.
No, okay.
But I mean, yeah, I guess we're getting feedback on these things too. Now question: Are the other mini assignments like similar to this one?
They kind of mini project 2 and 3 kind of build on this. So like you're doing kind of like you're picking your standard now. You're deciding like what comes through the learning progression. I think the next one is like with the same idea, coming up with specific learning objectives for your lesson or for your unit or whatever it is that you're doing. What is you're writing out the rationale. I mean, the mini projects are on Blackboard already, so you can take a quick look and they have examples.
Okay.
And 2 and 3 build on this, and then 4 is completely different.
Okay. Well, we're getting feedback on this one anyway, so whatever I do, I guess I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and take a look at I think that everybody that's kind of modeled their work with my sample has done well.
Okay then. Well, I have your sample, so.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. Let's see. I think Sunday you're next.
Yes. For the NYC dance blueprint, I have a few questions.
Okay. Can you send me the link?
Yeah. Hold on. Can I tap in the chat?
Yeah. Just cut paste it into the chat. It works.
Okay.
Did you guys hear about Tiger?
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, I put it in.
Alrighty. Where am I looking?
So how do I cite the blueprint? It's I was just like not able to figure that out.
Ooh. Okay, so what standard are you working with? Like what page are you using?
I have the thing is that they also don't have standards, it's strands.
Okay.
So it's worded different, so I can use strand, right?
Yeah, so like what grade are you using?
I use 12th grade because it jumps from 8 to 12 in the blueprint.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So any particular strand?
So I chose dance making, improvise.
Nice.
Then I quoted.
Okay, so yeah, you could just put in a dance blueprint for teaching and learning, and then 12th grade improvise, and then just cut paste all this information into the box. Is that Balanchine? No, who is that? Oh, it is. Oh, look at that.
Okay, and copy the.
Yeah, like this thing that I just highlighted. Am I still sharing my screen?
No, I can't see anything. My screen, I have to figure out how to take the. Oh, here it goes.
Can you see my screen now? Let me know when you. I think I'm sharing it.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so like, see right here where I highlighted this right here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just cut paste that into that first
box
right here. No, I'm sorry. Take it back. This box right here.
Okay. Okay. So you put and then for the quote standard, you just cut copy, and then I put New York Dance Blueprint Teaching and Learning, NYC.
Mm-hmm.
I think it said 2005, so I'll just put 2005.
Okay.
And then the blueprint doesn't have. Okay, sorry, that wasn't you answered that. It lays it out differently. The blueprint jumps from 8 to 12. I said that too. Okay, those are my questions I had written down that I didn't want to miss.
I mean, I use 6th grade standards, and statistics is usually 11th and 12th grade, so that's fine.
Okay, because I knew we had to build the progression. I'm looking at. I just did like a rudimentary start of it, and I have to flesh it out more. And I see what you're saying now about concepts, because I did mine in terms of, does the improvise for describe in narrative form how you will conduct a baseline assessment of these prerequisite aspects of knowledge and skill. You can describe either formal and informal, I put bullet points, and I put, does the improvisation used in the phrase have level changes? Do the students improvisation play with the music? Are the students using repetition in the improvisations?
Wait. I'm confused. What do you say? Wait.
Oh, because after towards the second box from the bottom, actually, I think it's the third box is where I didn't do
the concept of general context. This one.
Yeah, apply concept of general context of your own.
Just bullet points. So
yeah.
So where's my? Yeah. So for that one, okay, you're just gonna what are, for whatever lesson that you have in mind.
Mm-hmm.
What are things that students need to know beforehand? So they're probably going to need to know content area vocabulary, right? They're probably going to have to know, I don't even know. Let me read this. Using Graham movement vocabulary. I mean, they're probably going to have to know some vocabulary before they can even get to the Graham movement.
Right.
Maybe. I mean, do they have improvise in another grade? 8th grade? Do they also have an 8th grade improvise?
I'm pretty sure they do. And then, that was the other thing, the literacy. They have dance literacy, so I use that. But that's me jumping all over the place. Sorry. So yeah, I believe they do. Yes.
Okay, so here on page 40, right here, page 40. It says improvising using reordering, adding, repeating rhythm changes and level changes to explore variations of American social dance figures, create at least one individual and original move. Okay,
right.
So that can be your prior knowledge. So that can go in this section. Quote and reference other standards in the same or related content area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For this one, you're probably going to, I would suggest look at the ELA standards to find something that kind of would go with that. This is all the same. Okay, and so this one right here, what are things they need to know? They need to be able to use content area vocabulary. They need to know the differences between movements. I can't remember what Martha Graham looked like. Or
dark hair, and she wore very she had a very distinctive style.
So I would assume, again, I don't know, but I would assume that if you were going to talk about Martha Graham, right?
Yeah.
That you would have to be able to compare and contrast it with something.
Well, I could, you mean compare and contrast? Which section are we in?
We're in the bullets.
Yes.
Right? So you need to be able to, you would want students to have an I'm trying to think. They need to be able to maybe distinguish between different types of dance, or perhaps, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know anything about Martha Graham and this improvisation.
They would just need to know her floor work and her
don't think about what you're teaching them. What do they need to know beforehand?
Yeah, they would need to know her to improv within the Martha Graham technique. They would need to know her floor work and her standing work.
Oh, okay.
The formalities and in order to proceed.
Okay. Yep. Those are all the things that you're gonna put in here and just in bullets.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Identify and perform footwork.
Yes. Like triplets, whatever her technique. If they have her technique, then they can do the improvisation because they can just use different movements from the improvisation, or like guys would say like grammar or comma.
Right.
The same thing.
Okay. And then this part right here, the next one, you'd be like, okay, before they can improvise, how do you know that they know the things that they need, like the footwork? Okay. And then the next one is, how would you teach them that kind of stuff? If how would you reteach students that needed to be retaught things, and how would you prioritize amongst the bullet points?
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, let's see. Who's here? I think you're gonna have to tell me, was Tim or Samuel here first?
Tim can go first. I'm just kind of doing work while surrounded by people.
Okay.
Yeah, I only had a quick question.
Sure. Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, my top, my subject area is English language arts. It's easy enough to select like the learning skill that you want to address. Now, as far as like the interdisciplinary connection, I was going to go with like social studies. Now, the framework that I was able to find isn't exactly like, so neatly organized as like the ELA learning skills.
Right.
So I'm just like addressing like some bullet points, I guess, which I have like just listed as like the social studies 1110B 10 or something like that.
Are you using this thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, that's all you need to do.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
And I guess the task that I had in mind was just analyzing like maybe a historical text and making inferences about that, something simple like that.
Perfect.
All right.
You want to keep it as simple as possible. Yes.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So then, as far as like the citing the heritage article, do we need to cite like someone like Piaget as well?
I mean, it helps to bring in somebody else. I think it's like the last level of the rubric is to bring in like to make a connection outside of just the heritage article. But I don't think the point difference is very much at all. I think it might be like,
Gotcha.
Here and there. You'd have to look at, I don't remember well, actually, you know what? Let's pull it up because I probably should look at the rubric. Now that I'm getting more and more, now that we're like at the we're at the deadline, I'm like,
yeah, it's the 2000.
I don't want it to seem like I haven't seen this thing, but just so I can refer to it. Okay, so learning progression concept, both knowledge-based and skill-based elements are presented. Here it is. At least 2 connections to the heritage article and 1 citation from material beyond what was learned in class. So it's a difference between, so this whole thing is worth 400 points, and it would be the difference between, just be 20 points.
Okay.
Difference between the two. So yeah, but it can be, I mean, look through, lots of people are making lots of connections. Like I said, Dweck, Vygotsky, Piaget, those are like the main ones that people keep talking about. But then there's other stuff too that people have brought in, like Steele, stereotype threat. Just, basically these classes that you're taking, shouldn't be standalone. Like your curriculum, your program classes should be intertwined within one another. They should be interdisciplinary. So what have you learned in other classes that you think is relevant to what Heritage is saying, basically?
Gotcha. Okay. That answers all my questions then.
Oh, good. Awesome.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome to keep hanging out if you want.
Thank you, but I'm good. Thank you though.
All right. Have a great evening. Bye.
Take care.
Professor
Let's see, who is this? Samuel?
Samuel, yes. So, you guys are all talking about frameworks, and I'm kind of confused about that terminology. I think it's because I'm doing physics, so I don't think that I have a common core standard. But
Correct. So you have your science frameworks or your science blueprint or science standards or whatever?
Yes. Let me post a link real quick, just so that we can reference it if needed.
Terms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure that like I wasn't looking at something that was completely wrong and out. Okay. So
You're absolutely right on. Yeah.
okay. And also, I see two of the heritage articles that like we were meant to read. However, I don't see the 2007 heritage article.
There's
And
a 2008.
2010 and 2008.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is no
No,
2007.
No, did I write 2007 somewhere?
Yes, it's on the overview of the assignment, and it's also on the module, I believe.
1, 2, 3.
Let
It
me.
should. That's a. Let's see. Oh, I just. Okay, so the. All right, so what happened is that this mini project was created by one of the professors that developed this course.
Mhm.
And so what she did is she wanted us to pick which one of these articles we wanted our students to use. So I picked the 2008 and the 2010.
Okay. All right, that makes
Not
sense.
The 2007 one. So if I left it someplace else, I apologize. So it says read the article assigned by your instructor.
Okay, yeah. I was confused. I was like, was it purposefully omitted? Should I be seeing it? I'm not sure. But I get it now.
I thought the 2010 and the 2008 covered everything in the 2007 more than adequately and much better. So
Okay, sounds good.
Sure.
Cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And I'm just gonna
Nope,
keep
let's
working
do it
on the
with
mini
me.
assignment or the mini project.
no, it wasn't you, it was me. I'll go through and delete that because I can see how that can be confusing.
Okay, thank you. It's also on the downloaded. What is it? What is it called? I think it's the
instruction?
task. Yeah, the assessment
Yeah.
project task.
And the PDF version of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
It's
for
the same.
future
It's the
reference.
same. I will make sure to take that out. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you.
Did you want to keep working and then I'll circle back around?
Yeah. How long is this room gonna be open until 6:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep working on the mini project, and if I have any more questions, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Susan, how you doing? You're welcome.
Oh, wait. Oh, I was unmuted that whole time. Oh, no. I hope I wasn't saying anything or making noise.
Nope, you weren't talking to yourself.
Oh, good. It's coming along much better. Thank you. I'm not in tears anymore.
Yeah, nothing is worth crying about, I promise.
Oh, well, I know, but as everybody can understand, this isn't my only class, and sometimes these things can be very overwhelming, especially when I've been, kind of reading and thinking about it for about a week and a half now, and to feel so lost still. But thank you. You were very helpful today. I'm really glad we had that time.
No problem. I would suggest though, definitely, now that you've had the chance to do this particular assignment, like mini project 1, before going into mini project 2, really go in and unpack these standards, and go in and Google, maybe ask your advisor if you can get somebody to talk to, so you can understand the full scope of what is in that ELA standard, so that you can, move, first of all, so you can, most pressingly, so you can get through mini project 2 and 3, but then also so you can develop a system so that you can unpack other standards in the future.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to ask my my student teacher advisor to, or you think I should ask my academic advisor?
I mean, I don't, whoever helps, whoever you're supposed to, whoever's you're sort of pushing over your group, your cohort. But I mean, definitely your cooperating teacher should be able to help you. Don't know how busy they are, but yeah. So which part are you at in the process now?
Well, I was trying to come up with a couple more bullet points for the learning progression.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I added a couple. I added 3 more of beyond the ones we talked about. And then I did a short, what I thought would be sort of a prerequisite assessment, a baseline assessment of a quick review of terminology, and then a short quiz to see if the students got them.
Perfect.
Because they wouldn't be able to identify them unless they had pre-existing knowledge. Like, they wouldn't get it in just that one day. But I don't want to drop a bomb on them either, like if they haven't heard a term in a while.
Right. And then if they're still having problems after that day, this is, what can you do that is not punitive, because it's, you don't want to overwhelm them with more work because they're behind. That's not, they presumably are behind. What can you do to support them? And you don't want it to be a huge thing, like a little mini lesson, a little pull aside, a little project off to, that they can do in half an hour at home.
Yeah, do you think something, I mean, I just said I would review the quizzes and identify any terms that students struggled with.
Right, but
and moved on.
So this part right here, the scribe and narrative form, how you conduct a baseline assessment, that sounds like that square. But the next square is like, how are you going to differentiate the instruction plan? So if they still don't understand it, how are you going to help them?
Okay.
So just think of a little something small that they can do. It doesn't have to be a huge lesson. You don't have to write a lesson plan. You're just going to decide, like, what additional support can I give them that's not going to be punitive or overwhelming.
Okay.
And that's it.
And okay, so there's quite a few things. Oh, I see. Okay, just a mini lesson. Right. I see. Oh, let me go back down right before I begin the hands-on lesson. Okay, I will look more closely again.
It doesn't have to be as detailed as mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can I send this to you before we actually submit it, just so you could give me any feedback before turning it in for a final grade? Or would you prefer to just go for what we have?
Yeah, just go with what you have, because it's just too much. Like, it requires a lot of back and forth discussion.
Of course, yes.
And to be able to give feedback. So I just can't do it outside of,
Right. I understand. Okay, well, I appreciate it very much.
You're
and
welcome.
I will get back to work on it and turn it in soon.
Okay. All right.
Okay, bye everybody who's here. Have a good one.
Bye, Susan.
Bye.
Okay, so is it Mayette or Millette Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas.
Oh, your first name Thomas?
Yeah, my name got kind of mixed up randomly for some reason, so yeah.
All right. All right. How can I help, Thomas?
Well, I guess I think I kind of missed the first part of the office hours. I think you might have been going over, what's expected for the mini project. Is there a link to that page you were just looking at on how to do the mini project for next week?
Are you talking about this one? The sample?
Not- Oh, there we go. Yeah, the mini. Yeah, is that available anywhere?
Yeah. So what you want to do is you just want to go into Blackboard, okay, and where it says course materials.
Okay.
If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where the mini project section is,
Yep.
and then mini project 1.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the template, which is the blank version of that, and then you'll see my sample.
Okay.
What
Awesome.
you just saw with an math example, and then the rubric that goes with it is right underneath it.
Gotcha. Okay. And I guess just like a more general question too. For the weekly modules, like you pretty much detail all the work that you want done in all of the modules. Like all the homework that needs to be completed, just kind of to double check, is in those modules and
Yeah.
perusal.
Yes. So
Okay.
that's like, have you been getting my announcements at all?
Yes, I've been connected to those. Those have been very helpful.
Okay, so yeah, so what I try to do is in the announcement section, and I don't know if I don't know who signs up for the text alerts or not, but you're
Right.
welcome to sign up for those if you haven't already. It's just a copy of this that you just get to your texts on your phone that you
Right.
can click on the links there. But yeah, I just try to, outline the modules. So like right here, it'll say like you've got the use of objective items, the Halodina article, and if you go up to and then the week 5, where is it? Mini project 1 is in week 5. So you just go to weekly modules, week 4, and you'll see that it has like video.
Yep.
And this is the same one as before, the flawed items and stuff. Or actually, the flawed items is for like next week. It's the same one. I'm sorry. And the Halodina article, and then week 5. Where's week 5? Weekly modules. Week 5, you'll see where it says MP1 submission.
Gotcha. And so right, because the mini project is due on the 28th.
Right. So, and then it's got the video for subjective items and then the perusal. So I think next week, if I recall, it has like lab 3, but lab 3 has stuff that it was in this week's video and next week's video. So I think that's why I put it in weekly module 4.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why. But it's not, and don't forget that the labs, you guys have unlimited opportunities on the labs. So you can take it, and if you don't like your score, you can take it again, whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I hopped on because these asynchronous classes are always funny. I'm glad I got to finally meet you, albeit virtually.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally figured out your first name was Thomas.
Yeah. I gotta fix that so people aren't confused. But yeah, I really appreciate the way you have this asynchronous class set up. I had one last semester and it was harder to say the least. But you make everything very available and accessible, so thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for saying so. Thank you.
Yeah. But thank you. I think I'm like I said, like everything is pretty clear and as to what expected of me, and I'm still working. I'm not sure if you're like in tune to who has and hasn't commented on the perusal stuff, but I'm still finishing up some of my perusal assignments for the past weeks, and I know there's no deadline on those, but still working on that, and those will be all handed in, just to reassure you. But, yeah.
I think I have noticed your name in there. What you might want to do is, join in on the current week's perusal so that you can at least get in some of the, I can react to your comments
Mhm.
and then go back and do the ones that you might have missed slowly so that, you're still able to interact with the group.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably best. I'm just doing it on my own time, catch up on all that stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. Have a great evening.
Yes, you too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. See. Hi, Sunday. How can I help?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
How do I know if I need to do a better comment on Parasol?
I mean, I've noticed. I mean, I'm going by memory, but I remember your comments being great.
Okay.
Is it not showing up? Is it not grading you?
I didn't see the grades.
So I don't know what yours. I can't really pull it up because it's it would show everybody on here your grades.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go into perusal, trying to think of what it would look like. If you go into perusal from the student, my end looks different because I've got an instructor side, right? But
Oh,
it
okay.
should have a grade book section. Here, let me stop sharing and then let me stop sharing real quick.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I will look at your grade. Hold on. Log in. Okay, grade book. Okay, so the first one you didn't get full credit on, but the other two you did. So
Okay.
the two heritages you have full credit.
So I did do the first one over.
Just add to it, yeah.
Okay.
Just add to it. So keep up the the same level of commenting that you've done in the last couple ones, and you'll be gold.
Okay. And I have to apologize. I know I keep apologizing, but I'm just trying to figure out. It's Parasol. I keep doing all things. I saw that there's a lab due. March 4th, I think it is.
Lab 4. Hold on. Let me just pull up the syllabi real quick.
And this lab 4 is due.
Lab 4?
Or is it lab 3? I don't have my
Let me look at the syllabus. Hold on. So, okay. So I'm going to share my screen again. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Oops. Sorry. Where is the? What did I do with the? I just had my. Hold on a second. I just pulled up. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
Make this a little bit bigger. So, all right. So last week, right? So we're here. Today is the 23rd, right? So this is the week that we're working on right here. So last week we had lab 2, which was the specific learning objectives and the taxonomies, right?
Right.
All right. So lab 3 is for 2 videos. So it's the objective item video and the subjective item video.
Okay.
So what I did, and I'll go back here to stupid Blackboard. Okay, hold on.
Lab 2 was already in.
Yeah, lab 2 was last week, but you can still do it. It's not late. You can still do it.
Okay.
All right, so go to weekly modules. So see, lab 2
Mhm.
was part of last week's module, and I'll show you. I think. Where is it? Weekly modules. Wait, week 3. Yeah, right here. SLO and taxonomies. Week 3. Okay. So lab 3, since it deals with 2 different lectures.
Mhm.
Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry. It's in the lab. It's for week 4 and 5, but I didn't want to put. I think I put it in the week 4 part right here.
Mhm.
But it's for both objective and subjective, so it's really like next week.
Okay.
But yeah, so you don't have to do it by this week. And honestly, and honestly, the labs are. I mean, you want to do them like close to when close to when you watch the videos, because it's just going to help you with the lab. But you can go back and take them unlimited amount of times, and they're not late.
Okay.
So if you took the lab and you didn't score very well, you could take the lab again, like study it and then take the lab again.
Okay. And what's the due dates on them?
The last day of classes.
The last day. Okay. So then the other question I have is the heritage learning positions
on perusal.
Yeah. I read that.
Yeah, you're up to date on perusal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm reading. I promise I'm reading. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Am I the only person left?
I don't know. Let's see. No, there is, let's see. Samuel's still here.
And the 28th, is it 28? It's February 28th. Is it February 11:59 p.m. or is it 27 and the 28th?
It's at night. So before the 29th, submit this. Or before the 1st, I guess, submit this.
Okay. Before the 29th.
Right. Don't let February 28th end without you submitting this.
Now, where do we submit that? Do we email it to you?
No. You go to the weekly modules, and you'll see it says MP1 submission.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye. Samuel, can I answer any questions for you?
Not right at this second. But I will probably ask you something before 6:30, or within the next few minutes. I will probably ask you something just to be sure. Oh yes, I have a question. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So in the area where it says apply the concept to the general context of your own content area in grade level. So when in your example, when you say distinguish between qualitative and quantitative data, all of those, is that just off of your head, or are you specifically referencing the framework in order to get that?
To be honest, I did it off of my head because I know what students need to be able to do to interpret differences in shape, center, and spread in the context of data sets, accounting for possible effects of extreme data point outliers. So I did it because I was like, okay, before a student can do that, what do they need to be able to do? They need to be able to determine between qualitative and quantitative data. Like if they have colors, they're not going to be able to calculate an average. It sounds ridiculous, but you'd be surprised.
Okay.
You're sort of surprised, right? So they need to be able to distinguish between a population and sample. They need to have an understanding of how to reduce error in statistical testing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
That's what you need to be really, really, really successful. But if I had to break it down to bare bones, right? I'm gonna throw out concept of error reduction because I can deal with that another day. I'm gonna throw out probably qualitative and quantitative data distinguishing between the two. You know, I'm gonna probably I will throw out calculations of mean, median, and mode because I can have them use technology, right?
Okay.
Because they're working. My students are working with data sets with thousands and thousands of pieces of data in it. Like they're not going to calculate that stuff by hand anyway. So who cares?
Yeah.
Right. But they need to understand what mean, median, mode is, the concept of it, not how it's calculated, but the concept of it. If they don't understand the concept of it, and they can't, they don't understand a concept of a histogram, how to read a bar chart. That's a problem. Like there's no way they're going to get through this.
Yeah.
So it's really about like looking at like what is it that they need to be able to do. Okay. And this is what they need to be able to do to be successful. Now, if I had to start breaking it down to bare bones, because I can't teach them everything all over again, you know, they're supposed to learn this stuff in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And here they are in 11th grade. I can't teach them everything all over again. That I'm going to start hacking away at just the absolute must-haves. And then I'm going to do a little survey, like a little formative assessment to see how well do they know that. And then figure out a way to teach that very quickly. Again, I can't start from the beginning, right? I need to give them enough to just get them going.
Okay. All right.
What's your discipline again?
Physics.
That's
High
right.
school physics.
Yeah. So wait, let me see your thing again. So like what are they doing in physics? What do you want to teach them?
You mean what's the standard I'm going to be focusing on?
Yeah.
So I'm what is it? I can send the standard in the chat. This is what it is. It's the use of mathematical representations of Newton's law of gravitation and Coulomb's law to describe and predict the gravitational and electrostatic forces between objects. And I was saying that before they learn that, what they need to know about Newton's first and third laws of motion. They need to have a concept of mass in different bodies.
Right.
They also need to have a concept of what electrically charged bodies are.
Right.
And a concept of subatomic particles.
Okay. They also probably need to know units, right? How to convert units.
Okay.
Right? If you're gonna be I'm trying to think. So you're working with kilograms. Don't tell me I can do this. You're working with kilograms, meters per second squared?
That's acceleration, yes.
Okay. I can't remember the coulombs units. I'm trying to think.
If you need a hint, I could give you a hint.
Okay, give me a hint.
You said it.
I said it?
Yeah.
Meters per second squared?
Nope. It's coulombs.
Oh, coulombs is a unit?
Yep, it's his name.
Oh, I swear I did not remember that. Okay, so like I'm assuming they need to be able to. They're gonna need to be able to. I mean, the best way that you can do. Which one is it? This one. Quote and reference at least one standard that supports your related to your focal standard through interdisciplinary connections. Look at algebra and balancing equations, like reworking formulas so that if they've got the force and the meters and the time and minutes, how are they going to figure out what kilograms it is? You know what I'm saying? Like they need to be able to move around stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that would be a great one. Looking at conversions, you know, they need to be able. If I mean, let's think about it. Like, I mean, I took physics a long flipping time ago, but I remember if you can't convert, you're screwed. You cannot get through physics if you cannot convert units.
From one unit to another. I think
mean-
that's true. However, I work in a classroom right now, and like my host teacher, the lead teacher in this room, it feels like he kind of refuses to teach them units, but like they're getting along, albeit not too well, but they're getting along.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only way I got through physics. Is like, okay, what units do I need, and how do I get to those units? Like that's how I made it through, and I actually started to understand sort of like, okay, all right, so I've got meters per second, but I need meters per second squared. So like, what's going on here? Like, what am I missing? Even like checking my work, I would be like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense, you know? And then I'd find that, oh shit, he gave it to me in pounds. Now I got to convert this stupid thing, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. This is a makeup. This is, you know, that's just my suggestion. This is a made up lesson anyways for an assessment class. So you can do whatever you want. But that would be that's where the first place I would go is units. Cause you know, I would be like, oh, well, we got to start converting this thing. But yeah, for this, where's my example? For the bullets, units, yeah, boom, 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 boom. And then then you look at it and like, okay, maybe I can get them through not knowing how to convert units, but they absolutely need to understand Newton's first and third law. If they don't understand that, what's the point? So how are you going to assess they know those? And I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm just pulling something out of the air. If they don't know, you know, how am I going to know if they're okay with that? You know, are you going to do a little mini lesson? Did they just take a test on it and you're going to look at a previous test and use that for formative assessment? Did they, are you going to do an interview with a student? Are you going to, you know, there's different ways you can assess, right? And then if you needed to go back and reteach, how would you do it? And you want to think small because you can't give up a class period to reteach stuff that you taught last week or 2 weeks ago or a month ago. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Okay.
So you're just like, okay, we just gotta get them enough information so that they can get through the new stuff. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Is this like a regular physics class or like an AP class?
It's just a regular physics class. It has the potential to be an IB physics class, which is actually what I took in high school. And yeah, so this is just a regular physics class. And he actually, the lead teacher actually went through the same program I'm doing right now, the BA/MA in adolescent education in physics.
Oh, nice.
So he went through the exact same classes that I'm going through right now.
I wonder if he was my student. How long ago?
I think it was like five years ago, maybe. Peter Quirk, if you remember.
Maybe. I mean, I've had so many students, but I'm just like, oh God, I hope he liked me. You know, he's gonna be like, because don't tell him you guys are doing mini projects instead of the big projects, because the old students are gonna be really mad. So don't tell him that.
Oof, I won't tell him. Don't worry.
No, like, so, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, looks like looks like you're on your way.
Yeah, hopefully I'll finish by tonight, maybe. I'll spend the next hour just going over it, make sure I have everything. Okay, but
think simple. This is not supposed to be a gotcha moment. Think simple. Think pragmatically. What is the non-negotiable? This is what I'd like for them to know. What is the non-negotiable here? What is the big idea?
Yeah.
And that's what you have to start. That's kind of like where the readings are going, are like, what's the big idea? What's the big idea? Like, we can't get caught as teachers, we can't get caught in the minutia. We have to think about the big idea.
Yeah.
And what do students need to know to get to the big idea?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I got it.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by office hours.
Thanks for having them on such a regular basis.
I'm glad that you're showing up. So yeah, I'll keep having them for the there it goes. Mini project 2, I'll start doing them for mini project 2 next week.
Okay. Nice.
Okay? All right.
All
Have
right.
a great evening. I'm gonna go feed my dog.
All right. I hope your dog enjoys its food.
I will. All right. You take care.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.